Okay, hi, I'm Mr. Coleman. I am a 6th grade teacher here at Holmes Middle School. Been here for about 12 years. This is going to be my 13th year, my 3rd year in 6th grade, and I'll be teaching science and social studies here in room 203. I am excited to be starting the year with geography and maps and the 5 themes of geography, and trying to talk about how geographic systems affect people's everyday lives. And from there, we're going to transition in social studies into early civilization, early humanity, and how it moved from living as hunter-gatherers into living in cities, and from there into some of the first cities in Mesopotamia. And then in the middle of the first trimester, we're going to move to ecology and environmental science. So from there, we'll be talking about food chains and food webs and energy as it moves through a system, through an ecosystem, and some of the ways that ecosystems help us understand the complex interactions of organisms in an environment. Second trimester, in social studies, we will talk about ancient Chinese civilization, and we will talk about, for science, climate and weather. So as you can see, for each trimester, we tend to talk about one social studies unit and one science unit. I teach both, one after the other. So for the first 6 weeks of this year, we do social studies, and then we switch to science. And then for the second trimester, we do the same, and the third trimester, we do the same. For the last trimester, we learn about energy and thermodynamics, how energy changes forms. And we'll also be learning about politics and economics through the ancient Greeks and ancient Romans. So what I have behind me are the 3 main big ideas that we use to try to connect all of these. As you can see, we talk a lot about some very different topics here in this class. And it gets a little confusing if we're talking about maps and then talking about ecosystems in the same class with the same teacher. So we use these lenses, or these 3 big ideas, to sort of unify the content or unify the bigger conceptual understandings of what we're supposed to know and do in these 2 different topic areas. So whether we're talking about science and social studies, we talk about systems. And we try to explain systems in both civilization and studying ancient civilizations and studying ecosystems through creating models. Stability and change is a really important idea in science, and it's also a really important idea in the study of ancient civilizations and social studies. So that's another key idea that we come back to again and again in both science and social studies. And human-environment interaction is a really big idea, again, for all 3. The point of these is not just to help students make sense of the learning, but we also ask them to create projects related to these 3 themes that unify things they've learned in social studies and science. By the end of the year, we hope that they've come up with a useful understanding of science and social studies and how they can help each other. We really want students to believe by the end of the year that they can be good at these things, whether they believe they like or don't like science, or they like or don't like social studies, that these are kinds of things that can be studied systematically and scientifically, and they can get to a point where they learn something useful and new. So we really want to be able to keep in touch with you. We hope that we're doing great things in here, and we hope that we have ideas and cool things to share with you. So we have 4 different ways that we share what we're learning and what we're doing in Science and Social Studies class. The first is our team website, and my website, Mr. Coleman's website. All of those are on the handout. Twitter, we do occasionally tweet. I like Twitter, and we love to share what we're doing. That's sort of fun for the kids. I have a blog that I use to post information for the kids to read, but also for you to read about what's going on and what we're learning. And we ask the kids to post in Seesaw and Kid Blogs so that they can share their learning with their class and through their class or through the appropriate channels with you. Seesaw is an option we give our students so that they can talk, they can record their voices, they can record video, and they can share their learning that way. Or if they prefer to just write it with a little bit less picture and video options, Kid Blog is a great writing option if they want to just sit down and write an article or something like that. So all of this basically translates into what we hope is a fun year, where kids will not only have a chance to explore some of their interests and find connections between things they're learning across the year and not feel like they're learning in little chunks so they can forget it, and be able to share all the things that they're doing with you. Thank you.